can hear. Can everyone hear Kaz and Guru?
Yes.
All right. Yeah, excellent. All right. If anyone wants to ask questions to Kaz and Guru, my main question is, how is Guru healing? Our prayers have been with him. How is because I get a lot of people coming up to me asking about Guru, and I pretty much say what Franco tells me of his condition. What's the latest report on Guru?
Well, Guru's here, so he's going to tell you. Yeah, look, guys, crazy journey, I suppose, isn't it? You know, like, yeah, we proved that you could, you know, heal this disease and stuff like that, you know, naturally. And the moment I went out and said that, obviously we all know what happened. I, you know, got hit with some sort of turbo cancer. So, yeah, look, guys, I've had to have an operation because we couldn't stop it. So, I've, yeah, had a bit of job over
Fantastic. When do you expect us?
Yeah.
When do you expect us to see you back again in full swing with Kaz?
Well, me and Kaz are talking about this, and about full swing, I don't know, Rocco, because, look, it's been a pretty wild journey, mate, for the last 6 or 7 years, and, you know, we'll always be doing something here and there, and you know, keeping, you know, people informed. But, as for doing it 5 nights a week like we were, you know, my health's got to come first. And apart from that, Rocco, people like yourself and the people you got at the barbecue there are doing a very good job. And we've got more and more people coming on board all the time. So me and Kaz may even think that, yeah, we've done our bit. You know,
praise God,
yeah.
I honestly, like, when I met Kaz many years ago, when she joined my Newer Communities channel, it was the best thing that ever happened, because I've been watching you and Kaz perform over the years religiously. No one does it as good as you guys. I just scratch my head and think, if there was more people like you and Kaz, you know, I don't think we'd be in so much trouble. But at the park here, how many people, guys, you reckon are here? About 30? How many people do we have, you reckon? Sorry, how much is that? 50 people? Did you say 50? Yeah, Charles just said that they're scattered everywhere. We've got about 50 people here, and they're all listening in. And yeah, well, everyone knows my latest incident with the cyclist. If I can just put a positive review, the actual cyclist, he cycled to the park for the record, and then he accused me of, you know, not being allowed to live here because I towed my caravan to the kids. But the fact is, my caravan was here before the kids playground was even built in the first place. So the orders for this particular man to come down was to try and get into a punch-up with Rocco, so then all the Freedom barbecues would be over, because, you know, obviously the police would have to shift me away from here. But I wasn't stupid enough to fall in for that trap. And mind you, thank you, Burwood Police, for coming down. They did come down and check up on me, and there was about 5 of us who were educating them about what the Freedom Barbecue was all about. But yeah, but the weather here is spectacular. You couldn't ask for a better day to be out and about with them, meeting so many wonderful people. So, is any updates on your side, guys?
Yeah, no, thank you, Rocco, for doing what you're doing. It's like you're doing an awesome job. It's just tremendous that we've got so many people that are jumping into the fray, especially when we need it. For a long time there, for many years, we only had, like, there was only a handful of people, really, maybe 20.
Yeah.
But now what you've got is just explosive all over the internet. Every time I go onto the socials, there's new people popping up, and they sound like us.
Hallelujah.
So it's really, we're in a great position. If you look at America, they've got 350 million people, and they've got probably about 100 like influencers, if you know what I mean.
Absolutely.
Or somebody that you would classify as an influencer, somebody who speaks out politically. However, in Australia, we've only got 26 million people, and we've got at least that, probably more now. And they're all, a lot of them are really young, but they sound like us. It's great.
Yeah, praise God. But with the biggest news at the moment, all the talk is about the country of Ireland, the government, you know, capitulating. Can we get your views on your side? Because I don't really know much about it. I've been speaking to some people. They believe it's not true. What are your thoughts and views about that?
Yeah. Well, look, there's a few thoughts and views on it. Can you believe what the mainstream tells you? No.
Yeah.
So whatever they're putting out there, the mainstream is going to be, an objective sort of narrative. But have I seen some stuff in Ireland and that from other people on my scenes and that? Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
So look, Ireland is standing up, and they are trying to make a move over there. So the government has real things back. And this is exactly what we've got to do here. You know what I mean? Because they're going to keep telling us, we know that.
Yeah.
So once we all come together, stand up.
My interpretation of all the videos that I've seen is they've just pretty much blockaded the main roads of Ireland, but we don't know what sort of repercussions that will give the Irish people. I've always predicted that.
The army won't move against the people at the moment.
Oh, okay, yeah. I've always predicted New Zealand to get, to capitulate first, but you look at Ireland, they're pretty much the same size as New Zealand. But I think it's going to, I'm predicting it's going to happen from a small nation, and then it's going to, dominate through to the bigger countries.
Well, let's hope so, because, that's why we're sitting on a boat, mate. If it gets too bad, I'll sail away. But,
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Look, Rocco, it's just no givens at work by everyone, mate,
Yeah.
Everybody that's been involved, we've opened up so many eyes. We've told the truth, whether, like I've been arrested, sued, given cancer.
Yeah.
It's just incredible, mate.
You remind me.
We're in a prime position at the moment because the thing is that with Australians, our disadvantage and our advantage is that we're unique in the world in that we're majority introverts. However, what happens is, so it takes us a long time we'll take it. What you're seeing now is a public shift in the narrative, and that's where we want to be. We're in such a good position at the moment because we're actually winning the narrative. And for all of the digital soldiers, they don't. When you've got 60 Minutes screening on Channel 9 screening, a story, and they have to turn off the comments. They should turn off the comments because our people get on there and basically point out things.
That brings in another problem, Kat. Because we're going so well, they're screwing it up, and they got targets for me, and we're sort of holding them back on the targets. So it's as much as it's great, it's very dangerous too.
It's going to snowball. Yeah.
No, well, I was just going to say, the thing is, it doesn't matter. When the cat's out of the bag, the cat's out of the bag. You've got people that, they're, even in conversations, like in civil conversations and like socially, people no longer are swallowing it. They're basically, they're basically sounding like us. And it's good. This is where we want to be.
Yeah.
And, I don't know what's going to happen. Like, I think that there'll be some sort of triggering or something like that. But once you get to the majority, where the majority of the people are just not buying it anymore, then there's no point. They can keep peddling their rubbish, but they just can't win.
There's a point of no return, absolutely. A big event, I think, is happening this month in Canberra. If you guys would like to comment, is it Scott who's organising some kind of convoy?
That's Scotty's thing. I think I'm probably going to go up to that. That's next Sunday. I think I'm going to probably take the day trip up to that and just basically go and attend and get some photos and maybe do some broadcasting there.
Yeah, he's got an enormous amount of followers too. Enormous.
The problem is the environment doesn't really, allow people to listen at this time. What a great time for the fuel crisis, isn't it? Because they don't want to see us all going to Canberra again. But if you can get there. I won't be going. But anyone that can get there, I suggest you get there,
But Guru, guess what?
Those people that have been there before, that, we need actual, something to happen to move forward. There's no use congregating in Canberra and then coming home the next day. It's just more fluffy and never great as that. Something needs to be done.
Yeah, I was there with the convoy to Canberra last year. I didn't think much of it, and I really, my prediction is that we won't see much coming out of the one that's happening next week as well. But you know, our transport system is absolutely stuffed because I've had already 2 of my dearest friends who've texted me saying that they can't get here because there's no services running. Obviously, that's due to I'm guessing people not being able to get onto public transport because it's over capacitated. But we do have Nona coming here very shortly. It's been a real thrill to have both of you here. I was hoping Franco would come down here and help me with the interview, but I'm sure everyone's been very delighted to hear what Kaz and Guru is saying. Don is going, Sam. A big cheer for Kaz and Guru. We love their work. We watch you religiously. And we can't wait to see. We can't wait to see you guys in full swing. Yeah.
Thanks, Rocco. We'll be doing what we can do when we can do it, mate. No problem. We're not leaving you alone. We're just got other priorities at the moment.
Yeah, we can't get enough of your work, Kaz and Guru. We love you.
Thanks, Rocco.
All right.